Hi.
Welcome to our rewatch of episode 4, The Wheel of Time. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite episodes of the season.
The Dragon Reborn.
The
Yes.
Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
So I'm Rebecca, and I have Tom and Ebony here with me. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Pretty
Good.
good, pretty good.
It's a Monday,
Yeah.
It is a Monday. We always do this on a Monday.
but I like it because it makes my Monday better.
That's right.
Like I have
There you
something
go.
to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think people are looking forward to things on Monday usually, except this. That's it.
Well, of course, because we're a good time.
Yes. So
Hey, Mary.
sadly, we were supposed to have a guest with us tonight, as we normally have been doing. Daniel from Black Tower Podcast got called into work.
No.
Work schmirk. Like, what is this? I can't believe people have to do it. He was bummed not to be here, so we are too. But we're still gonna have a good time, and he'll be back another time.
Everyone should take a second and go over to the Black Tower Twitter and tweet at Daniel and tell him that we miss his face. So it's Black Tower Pod on Twitter, and just
at Tower Podcast.
Yeah, at Tower Podcast. That's
yeah,
at Tower Pod. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you tweet nice things.
Yes. Don't make him feel bad.
Yes. Tell him we miss his face. Say we miss your face.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we won't rub it in that we're here having a good time and he has to work. But anyway, so
yes,
yeah.
Sean, this is a great episode.
Yes.
I love Logain's. I mean, for Alvaro Marte is amazing, but like,
yes,
there's all the Logain stuff is so cool.
A ton of good stuff in this episode. I can't wait to get to it again. So I'm really looking forward to it. The other good thing that we can share is that, well, I don't know if you want to share, Tom, because you kind of got a little bit of a reassurance about these questions from Rafe. So
yes.
Fill us in.
I was a little worried. I thought we might have made Rafe mad at us, but Sarah Nakamura, I texted Sarah Nakamura and she replied and she assured us that Rafe is not mad at us, that they had to do some last minute traveling. They are working on season 3, so I'm sure they're super busy and he just hasn't had time, but he will answer all the questions that we've posted already and the ones that we will be posting for this episode. And if he doesn't get to it before, our future episodes, he'll make sure to get them in there. So keep the questions coming, and he likes what we're doing, and we're good to go. So I feel better now. I was getting a little worried.
Yeah.
We haven't even had a chance to meet him yet, and he's already mad at me.
But also,
usually they have to meet me first before they get mad.
No, it's when they meet you that they are like, "Oh, I can't believe I was mad at Tom."
That's not true.
That is absolutely true.
All right, I'll take it.
But no, that makes me feel a lot better too. So I was really glad that you did that, because I was just kind of like my anxiety was just ramping up a little bit on that, because you hadn't answered the questions. But
that voice is in the back of my head was like, he hates you. Everything you're doing is terrible. Stop
There's
doing
always
this.
That. There's always that stupid voice. Anyway, so that is good to know. And I did sort of wonder, like, if he's just gonna like save up and like do a bonanza of question answering at some point,
which would not be bad.
I mean, that's gonna be fun if that happens. Yes. So I'm all for it.
Yes, but also yay for traveling for season 3.
Yes,
like that is the best excuse he could give.
It's true. Yeah. Like, who doesn't want to be traveling all over? Probably Europe, I guess, right? So traveling somewhere, extravagantly beautiful. And filming, stuff in Europe would be amazing.
Yeah, well, like maybe they're like location scouting or something right now. That would be probably fitting for season 3.
Yeah,
super jealous. I want to do it now. Okay.
All right. So, do you want to remind everybody about the timer getting set up for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Streaming.
Yes, I am fixing the timer right now because it seems to be broken, but I am going to be having a little timer in the screen once I fix it. It's just a little broken. I'm going to block my face for a second because I lost it for some reason. I don't know why it's gone.
You're not going to see Tom the whole time. You're just
I promise. I promise.
On his little square.
Why is it broken? Why are you broken, timer? But I will have a timer running, and I'll call it out again once I fix it. The other thing that I want to make sure to mention is for our U.S. audience is tomorrow is Election Day. Is a very important day for us in the U.S. for those that are watching abroad. there's a lot on the line for that, and I'm not gonna, tell you anything political or which way to vote or any of that nonsense. Just, get out there, vote, and make sure there's a really cool website called iwillvote.com. It's not politically affiliated at all in any way. It just gives you all of the information that you would need to find your local voting places. So make sure to get out there and vote.
Yeah, midterms are important. People forget about them because it's not a presidential election, but
right. And
Yeah.
by then it might be too late. By the time we get to the presidential election.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Agreed. Okay.
I will let you stall for like another 2 seconds while I fix this.
We're gonna let Tom do what he needs to do.
Rebecca, what's on your shirt?
Oh yeah, this is so funny. I was wearing this today. This says Rand. I can't do it so that you guys can actually see it. All right, Rand and Matt and Perrin and Egwene and Nynaeve, and this is from Weekly Wheel News. Which,
Okay, so I'll have to
Rob
add that to the list.
Yeah,
because the Empress has a birthday coming. So
I was wearing this shirt in the grocery store today. And I legit met a Wheel of Time fan in the wild. He was bagging my groceries, and he was like, "I like your shirt." And we talked about, I asked him, he said he's a fan, and I asked him if he was like, a fan of the books, the show, and he said he was definitely more of a book reader. Like he was like a little unsure about the show, but it was,
it's always nice.
It was just fun. I've never actually met a Wheel of Time fan in the wild.
So I have a few times, but it's only because I have a daughter named Avienda, so people will hear me talk to her, and it draws them in. And once she had a pediatrician, but she was like a baby, and he came into the room and he said, "Oh, somebody's a fan of Wheel of Time," and I'm like, "You are my favorite."
So cool.
But of course, we're military, so he very quickly disappeared because the doctors just hop around. So but it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that's happened to me. So that was fun. I guess I need to wear Wheel of Time shirts more often.
Yes.
Yeah. I went to so anyway, real quick, I have the timer now. It works. Yay, the timer's in the bottom. So you guys can find it.
Other side, Tom.
Oh, this side. All right. My Lisdexia broke me again. I'm sorry. So you guys could follow along now by looking at that timer, and just in case you get lost, you can always find your way back to where we are in the show.
Yes.
Yep.
I was gonna say I went to Disney World once, and it was weird because so they used to do this thing called Galactic Nights, where it was like a late night event and people would dress up for Star Wars and all that. And we were just, my wife and I were hanging out. Actually, one time we went, Erin dressed up as my wife as a blue milkman, which was amazing.
You sent me that picture. That was so fun.
Yeah, it was the people were like, the people that worked at Disney were taking pictures, and then like at the end of the night they were displaying the pictures up on the side of the Chinese theater that they have there, and they had her picture on there.
So that's very creative. They probably don't see that all the time.
It was great. And she had a little milk, like a little carrier thing with blue milk in it. Not real milk, but yeah.
I think I put it up
but there was someone dressed as Matt. That was my thing.
I put it up on Dragon Mount's Instagram when I was doing like closet cosplay. So it's there. You can go see it. Anybody.
The thing that we were there for a Galactic Nights, which was weird to see a Wheel of Time cosplayer, but there was a Matt walking around. Like he had the eye patch, he had the hat, he had Ashendari, and I was like, Matt! And he's like, holy shit, someone recognized me.
Right.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so
I'm ready to.
I got to share this picture only because he's beautiful. So in this episode, we do one of the we saw him for like a couple seconds in the last episode, but this is the big episode with Alvaro Morte, and like he's amazing, and I can't wait.
So now we're just gonna look at how pretty he is.
It's a true story. It's a true story.
So many pretty people.
I know.
Oh my God.
The Wheel of Time.
Everyone, even Pat and Fane, like
stacked with pretty people.
Don't get me wrong, like I don't want to like I feel like it's an insult to say he's creepy looking, but he is creepy.
He is playing the character well.
Yes, but he's also very good looking. Like he's not bad look. He's not a bad looking dude. Like
no.
He's just creepy as hell.
I don't think there are any bad looking people in the entire cast.
It's true.
It just goes from pretty to extremely pretty.
I also have a picture of Rob Christensen. If anyone's interested to go check out Weekly Wheel News, he has a great little memes that he posts every week. It's always like some sort of Wheel of Time parody of something that's going on in the real world.
Yeah,
I'm
like
pretty
National
sure,
Enquirer cover.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. I think he currently has something going with the Dark One ruining Twitter of Time somehow. So
I
it's
mean,
great.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he's wrong.
No.
No,
All right.
no.
I'm gonna line up my play buttons so I can press play
Okay.
simultaneously on these two things, and we will get
Everybody
ready.
should be getting ready to press play along with us.
Yes, we're gonna get ready. I'm gonna count down, and I will press play on both the timer and the episode itself. So everyone, get ready. We're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. And we are not going to skip the recap. If you guys have the commercial beforehand, like sometimes you randomly get, because that's fun, just jump on ahead to where we are in the show when it's when it finishes. But we will not be skipping the recap. Okay. So recap is my girl Rosamund. I got my closed caption on this time for you, Ebony.
See, I'm telling you, it's
Gotta.
the way to go.
Yeah. So another fun thing is actually not just the closed caption. So some my friends over on Way of the Leaf YouTube Leafcast, our felt friends, our puppet friends. One of them has been watching the shows over again with us, but they've been watching not with the closed caption, not with just the closed caption, but with the visual impaired narration.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been some interesting goings-ons with that. For instance, when Nynaeve was hiding in the pool in the beginning of episode 3 from the Trolloc, it says Nynaeve is hiding in the ceremonial paint pool.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was
Nice.
interesting. From the
Right.
deleted scene that was in episode 1 of when they pour the paint in the pool.
Yes. Tom, Luke, I Jedi says the timer is slow again, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch!
I think the timer is slow or the timer is ahead.
He said
Huh.
slow. I just think
okay.
it's not quite matching.
No, he's
All
right.
right.
It is slow.
All right.
I don't know why
Okay.
it does that. It's set
That's
to
weird.
30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second. So
Yeah, we
I'll
did
fix
have
it
to
real quick for you
adjust
guys.
before. This is imperfect, but
Yes.
I'll fix
So
it.
I just want to say I love the way they show the weaves coming off of Logain.
yeah.
Just this whole opening and him with the king. I'm like, that is really good. Like, I know there's people who don't like the show in general, but even I feel like if you have to watch it and admit there's some things they got really, really right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. No,
Like,
I do love this cold open.
Yes.
Oh, it's just so intense.
I made 2 separate videos, one with 60 frames per second, one with 30 frames per second. And I was like, I hope I clicked on the right one because I forgot to label them. All right. Now let me get to what time is 3 minutes. There we go. That's the right time now. Okay, we're at the right time now, guys. Sorry about that.
It's all fixed now.
Yes. I'll take my beatings later.
I'll catch up with you in April.
Nice. Don't make promises with your mouth that your butt can't keep.
It's not that kind of show.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, buddy. I fixed it.
So I do like with the captions on, the voice has a name.
That's right.
I
feel like that could
I
be
want us to
important.
revisit this. Yes, I want to know.
Alusha.
Yes.
Alusha.
Like, is that somebody from his past? That is just, that's the the taint on him. Like, is
Yeah,
that a wife? Is that a
Yeah.
mom? Is that a
yeah,
sister?
it raises so many questions.
I
Yeah.
love the way they're showing Sidene being tainted here too. It looks so cool.
Yes.
It's such a great visual way to, like, you know, every single time a man, or at least every single time we get a POV of a man channeling in
Right.
the books, they always describe, oh, it's this blissful, amazing feeling with this black slick across of evil across, and that is a perfect.
Yes.
And now it's like the taint itself is creating these figures that are talking to him. And it's really interesting too how they like give us these little hints about his history in part of that.
Yes, because they mentioned his sister.
Right.
Like,
his sister and his parents betrayed him.
Right. Like, but I know, like, just as a book fan, I had concerns about how they were going to show the flows of the power, right? So I'm happy with what they've done.
Yeah.
But this is great because, like, they show him like you're afraid of him. And then, like, right here, like, it all shifts and I mean, like, I get it. I get why this king would follow him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like great charisma. He's obviously a good military leader because, like, he's winning battles, and he's not like a killer. Like, he's not just like killing for no reason. Like, he believes he's the Dragon Reborn. Like, and he's trying to do what he thinks is right. So, like, once they were like, no, we're gonna fight with you. He's like, all right, cool.
Well, and also he had an understanding of what it was, like, because who really understands what it is? It's like only scholars understand that they needed the dragon, but also it was going to be a terrible time. But
that's a good point.
That it had to be done. So, like, he is explaining to them, like, look, I know you're afraid.
Yeah.
And yes, it is going to be bad, but trust me, it is what has to be done.
He's showing that he knows more about the Dragon Reborn than the average person does, right? So he's not
even
just
the
like
Aes Sedai. Like,
he's not just like effing around here.
Right. Like he's not just trying to take over. He's like, I'm here with a purpose.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, if somebody comes to you with a purpose, even if they sound a little crazy, you're like,
yeah.
I mean, history shows.
Yeah.
One other thing too is Rafe has been very cryptic with his answers to this question of what the one power visually, like what the one power looks like.
Okay.
In so much that it seems like he's been hinting that we really haven't seen channeling from the perspective of the channeler yet.
So I always assumed that we were seeing it as another channeler.
Oh, I was assuming the other way. I was assuming that we were seeing it from someone who can't channel.
No, because if you can't channel, you can't see the flows.
That's the thing. I don't think we are actually seeing the flows. I think we're seeing the result of whatever they're doing. Because we're not seeing the flows. We're not seeing the different threads of the one power. We're just seeing the weird.
I mean, he did say that we were going to see more detail in the next season, like more like in variations in color and threads. So it'll be interesting to see what it actually ends up looking like.
I think we're going to see that when we start seeing things from like Egwene and Nynaeve's perspective while they're in the tower learning. And they're like,
sense. Yeah.
And then we'll start seeing actual, like, because they're like in the beginning here, they didn't want to be throwing so much at us. Like, you know, when I say us, I mean people who are watching this that don't know what the one power is. So they're just like, look, magic, wispiness. But then the next season they'll get into it, and then they'll teach the viewer at the same time they're teaching Nynaeve and Egwene.
That makes sense.
The different threads and stuff, and then we'll start seeing it all the time.
But we're seeing, like, in here, like, this is more
I feel like that's
than just the effect.
Right.
Because
I feel like that was spirit. That was white. That was spirit. To me, I don't know if I read it somewhere, but spirit is white.
Yeah. but like there's more than just spirit in healing. So
there's water too, I think.
Yeah. So like I think what we just saw was what anyone in the room would see if they couldn't channel. Just a wispiness going into Moraine.
So then I think that is a change from the book.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then that's fine.
Because in the book, people don't see anything.
Right.
And that would
like
that would
men
be
and-
boring if you just saw two people
Right.
staring at each other, you know?
Right. And women and men can't see. Well, is it women and men can't see, or just women can't see men's?
Women can't see men's and men can't see women's. But
Okay,
it
that's
goes
but-
both ways.
Yeah,
Also,
but women can see, but men
Women
can
can see.
feel them. They feel the
Right,
tingle.
right. But also, I'm gonna go back a little bit when all the Rids were standing there.
Mhm.
Like, I enjoyed that visual. Like, I don't necessarily like the
Me
Rids,
too.
but
Me
also
too.
don't mess
They
with
look-
them.
They look
Yeah.
gangster as fuck. I'm not gonna
Yes.
lie. They look pretty awesome. But speaking of
also-
looking awesome, Priyanka
Yes.
Bose here.
Oh,
So I will say, aside from some questionable decisions that Alana makes, she is like my Aes Sedai spirit animal.
Yep. Especially this one who seems to
especially
always
now.
be snacking.
Yes, because that is my life. I just restock snacks at work in my cubicle today. But I do like how they showed the shield on him when they showed them shielding him, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that was done very well too.
Yeah. I don't know. Taryn Furry, I don't know if they're actually holding him with air at the moment because the shield, is on him. But
they wouldn't need to, I don't think, with between the cage and the shield.
yeah, I think the shield is actually inside of him holding the one power. And then in a minute, when he tries to strain against the shield is when we see it pop out of him and then go back in. And it's set, you actually see it settle on his body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then disappear.
Speaking of things settling on the body, I hope we also get to see
Ooh.
three the three oaths being laid on an ice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting little tidbit there. I didn't see that. I got to go check that out. See if there's any. They do say that they have his ears blocked with air. Okay, so
Yes.
maybe it's just they're small or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just don't get to see that.
I would say I did notice that line of dialogue, and it was like sort of odd. But I mean, they're saying that for the audience, right? So that
so we know.
that everyone knows that he can't hear them. But yeah, maybe the weave is small enough that you don't see it, like his hair is covering it or something.
There's a line in one of the books, I believe it was a Shaunchen that said it, that like if channelers are doing their job, it might have been a Forsaken or someone else, I don't remember. But if channelers are doing their job in a fight, nothing is happening because.
Well,
one channeler is stopping the other one.
Right,
and that
they're
channeler is
evenly
stopping
matched. Right.
Yeah.
So there's
but that would be boring as hell if
you
Right.
can't
watching.
have
So
that
like
on
you
screen.
need to see them doing weaves and stopping them. So
Yeah, I'm thinking of a particular like channeler battle in like a later book, which I'm not going to say what it is because we're not doing spoilers at that point. But yeah,
people
it
staring
would be
at each other.
basically characters staring at each other literally.
Yeah,
But
and that's boring.
This land scene right here,
Mhm.
the choreography and the conversation, I enjoy it. Yes, Steppen, thank you. Because
they're
you can
buds,
see,
but-
yes, you can see some personality. Like they're
Mhm.
not so super serious. Yes, we're warders, but we're human too.
Yeah, it's the way I took it is like they let their guard down a little bit with each other,
bit,
right?
So they can. These axes are pretty interesting too.
Yes.
I feel like they're a little impractical, but I'm also not like a weaponry expert, so I don't know.
I've heard people complain about them big time, and like
I feel like
my response is always, I don't care.
Yeah,
but whatever.
This is make believe. Like we just saw somebody heal somebody and then put a shield on them to keep them from doing magic.
Yeah, Karen said maybe what we're seeing is them actively weaving, and then once it's settled, like we don't see it anymore.
Well, that's what I kind of assumed. Also,
yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm saying they gotta be heavy as hell.
I like this scene because I always enjoy when like characters we don't really know are like sort of saying what they think about characters we do know.
Yes,
we just like enjoy that perspective
well,
that like they're giving on Moraine and Lan is cool.
I love to get the tea in any shape and form. Like I don't want to be in the drama, but please give me the details.
Right. So there's spilling some tea on Moraine and Lan, and it's just it's fun.
Yes, but
and then Leandrin.
Yes, but
and then the other thing there is they're talking about maybe there's rumors about the Reds just gentling men, and Karenni doesn't believe it, but
We
Maureen
know.
knows that's true.
Right.
And we do too.
Right, we do too. Maureen knows it. She's just holding on to that little nugget.
Oh yeah.
But do you guys think that is trying to show more of the older Aes Sedai and their unawareness of maybe what's really going on, of how much change there really is brewing in the tower?
I think it's also just to show that what the Reds are doing is like way out of line. Because like if you see that in the first episode, you don't know at that point, if you haven't read the books, that like what they're doing isn't what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. And one of the faults of the Aes Sedai are the assumption that people wouldn't dare.
True.
Like that is their downfall, is people wouldn't dare do that.
Right.
And
you would not like break tradition and protocol.
People absolutely would dare. Just gosh, she's so much taller than her. And I know Egwene is not that tall anyway, but Perrin is just, look at him.
I know.
I think they did a great job with the casting for him.
Yes. Like it's like me standing next to Avienda for like the next year, and then she'll be taller than me.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't know how y'all felt about Aram in the books, but for me personally, I never liked
him.
I never liked
never.
him. He always came off as like a dude, like a bro.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Well, no, he came off as, I know I'm good looking.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Steal Your Chick.
He's pushy. Like he's like pushy with Egwene from the beginning, and I never liked that.
Yeah. And he was trying to like, he was like, oh, it looks like this Perrin has feelings for Egwene.
Yes,
whether they're romantic or not, I'm gonna try to make him uncomfortable.
Right.
And I'm gonna like stick it in his face a little bit,
Right.
No,
this Aram is actually
really
likable.
like what they've done with Aram in the show so far.
He's kind of like trying to be the bridge between his grandparents or the Tinkers in general, and everybody who's not a Tinker.
Yeah. True.
Jason, I totally agree. Like I think they did them great. Like they look exactly as how I pictured them. I also so now we're at Matt and Rand here on their horseback. Something I love about this is, look at them. They're dirty.
Yes.
Like I love it. Like they got dirt.
Like they've been riding horses to save their lives.
I heard that everything was too clean in this show.
What?
You're right. There's some dirt.
Look how dirty he is.
I mean, honestly, everything. Yeah. I mean,
look at his face. He's literally covered.
Yeah, he's literally got like streaks of dirt on his face.
And still so handsome.
Yeah, I know. But that was something that I loved, that they actually paid attention to, is like they made them a little dirty and stuff. They like, even the Aes Sedai dresses at one point have like dirt all over them until they have a chance.
There's also
like
there are spots of like wear, to varying degrees on all of them. So I mean, the details are there if you're looking for them.
Right.
But in other fantasy shows that were on MTV, everyone was always looked like their hair was blow dried and they had just showered before every scene.
And that's not even real life.
I know.
Because I guarantee you, some people at my office don't look like that, and they should have.
No. Hey, we've been to enough Jordan cons that we know people don't shower.
Oh no, that we got to keep pushing that rule. We got to keep.
I guess we're spilling some tea on here as well.
As the new member services coordinator, I need people to know that it is required.
You give them. What is it? The 3-2-1 rule, right?
Yes, the 3-2-1. Yes. So what is it? 1 shower, 2 meals, and
3 hours of sleep.
And 3 hours sleep for every 24 hours.
At least.
Yeah, that's the minimum.
Yeah. Yes, but Jason. Alana is hilarious.
She is. And
I really love Alana in this scene. And I think they did a great job, because like they're managing to really tell us a lot about her in this scene.
Yes. And this feels, I don't know who has read New Spring. I mean, I assume you two have, but this feels like New Spring Alana, right?
That's true.
It feels more like her real personality before she had to put on the persona of I'm an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's just another way of them with the Aes Sedai and Aes Sedai and Aes Sedai and their warders and warders and warders and vice versa, are them like showing them take down the visage of Aes Sedai and warder when they're alone with each other, is just showing their like interpersonal relationships and stuff like that, showing that they're human and less, these beings.
Which
and we get to see that here because Alana and Moiraine do have a friendship.
Exactly.
Right. But I'm glad they are doing it because I think so many book readers do often take whatever an Aes Sedai says in the book to be true, even though
Yes.
Jordan told us no, that just because they said it doesn't mean it's true. That's just what they believe.
Exactly.
Like that's the flaw of the oaths, right? As long as the Aes Sedai believes it to be true, she can say it.
Rapunzel, I mean, like he was sweating a bit. Like they had just ran away from Shadar Logoth. I'd be oily too.
Yeah.
I mean, he
was sweating a little bit, but I like. I mean, like who doesn't want to see Daniel Henney?
I was gonna say.
I just started rewatching Criminal Minds, the seasons with him in it, just because I want to see more Daniel Henney.
So like this part right here where he pushes, like he caught,
Yeah.
So he was absolutely, even if he couldn't hear them, he could absolutely see the dynamic of the room, that they were kind of chatting.
He's like, he's like, maybe they're distracted.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me try for it. Yep.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me just like the raptors in Jurassic Park when they were trying the fence for weaknesses.
Clever Logain.
Mm-hmm.
So is Logain going to show up with Samuel L. Jackson's arm now?
He might. You know what? Uncle Sam is in a lot of stuff. You never know.
That's true.
Also, I like this interaction here.
Oh yeah.
Because Nynaeve is like, don't even try it. I know exactly what you are.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
And that's sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
So I just find this so fascinating because like Book Leandrin does not strike me as someone who would like play this game and like be nice or to the extent that she can be nice, but she's trying to be nice. She's trying to like get Nynaeve to talk with her, and like Nynaeve is giving her no deference, and she's allowing that, and it's fascinating.
So I do think in the books we do get some like inter dialogue of Leandrin, or maybe she's saying out loud about how she used to, I don't want to say manipulate her dad. So it's a skill set she has. Yeah. So I think she was trying to come at it this way because she probably can already tell that Nynaeve doesn't like Moraine. So so
that's true. Yeah,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone while we're watching here and while you guys are watching at home, if you guys have any questions specifically for any scenes that are coming up, make sure to get them in here and post them up so that we can start collecting questions for Rafe again. So
yes.
Be thinking as we're watching for sure is a good call.
Yes. So just if you start noticing anything in here that you want to ask a question about, get them posted up.
I also, so while we didn't get my 80s, I can't think of what it's called now, all the scenes together of them traveling.
Montage.
Montage. Thank you.
Traveling montage.
Yeah, because I really wanted that with 80s music and everything, but all right. But I do like that we at least do get the Grinwells. Because I was going to say Griswolds, but that's National Lampoon.
That's National Lampoon.
I've got a lot of random TV stuff in my head, guys.
It's all good.
But I'm glad that we did get that family.
I think, yes, between last week with Dana and this week with everything at the Grinwell farm, I think they condensed down that whole long sequence of Rand and Matt perfectly. Like we got some really strong scenes.
I would have liked one scene of them in an inn.
Yeah.
Just one.
I would like to have seen them performing. Like I would have liked to have seen that aspect.
And, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll throw it in somewhere else.
Like one scene of Tom teaching Rand and Matt around the fire how to tell a story, or telling them a story, or playing a song, or something like that.
So I will.
And then one scene after he dies.
Yeah. So I will say I don't know if we saw enough of Tom with the boys to build a strong relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we do. I do totally
only Matt,
get
at least.
About right.
And there's some with Rand in this episode too.
That is true because he is talking. So it's just like a taste of it, and of course, us as book readers know what that's supposed to be. But I do worry if non-book readers are going to be like, that wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to suck it up because we.
But I think the
episodes.
Scenes that we do get are strong.
They are. Like, I mean, he saved their lives, right? He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to put himself into that kind of danger.
Yeah. So I love this right here. Like Lan's promising her, like they're going to find their friends. They're going to try. And like, you can see that she takes that seriously. Like that means something to her that he is promising that. And like, she doesn't trust anybody.
No.
Right.
And she doesn't care that Maureen is promised already.
No, but the
now
fact
that
that
Lan is
Lan
promising.
does mean something.
Yeah. Oh, I really do love the Tinker Wagons. This
I do
shot of
too.
the Tinker's Wagons.
That is nice. I like that there's more color on the wagons. Yeah.
Yes. And I like that they're in a straight line because I can't recall in the book if they ever said if they were in a straight line or not, or if they were kind of like, because I know they talk about like the kids and the dogs kind of running around.
Ebony, it's to hide their numbers.
That is true.
No, it's
There
not.
you go.
It was a Star Wars. That was a Star Wars reference.
I know
Yeah,
exactly what that was. I have a niece named Leia. I had to
All
convert,
right.
I had to convert to Star Wars.
Wait a minute. You have, so your daughter's Avienda, and then you have a niece named Leia. That's
And Leia's daughter's name is Aurora.
Dude, can I come to like one of your family? Can I come to like Thanksgiving or something? I want to hang out with your family.
So it is my favorite holiday, and everybody's welcome to come.
It's the best.
But also, we have all the Star Wars movie posters framed and upstairs in Avi's apartment on the wall.
That's awesome.
It's ridiculous.
She's a big Star Wars fan too?
She is not, but I converted to Star Wars when I married Brian because Star Wars wasn't checking for me back in the day. So I was like, if we're going to be obsessed, we'll be obsessed all the way. So
it's good.
I like, so honestly, I really do like the little changes that they've done to Perrin's character to give him a bit more depth.
Yes.
Because in the books, and don't get me wrong, I understand it. Like I've been over 6 feet tall since I was 13. So I understand that I'm a big dude, so I don't want to hurt people and stuff like, but like there's not much depth to that. So
it's almost like he's got an anxiety issue.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
like,
you've never hurt anybody before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in here, in this Perrin, we have so much more.
My doubts, but it does work. It really does.
We have a reason for him to be so protective of his future romantic interests, and also the dichotomy that I'm sure will follow him throughout the rest of the series of violence versus nonviolence.
Yes, it
exactly
makes so much more sense.
It also the idea of the violence versus nonviolence seed being planted in his head from the Tinkers. Adds more depth to what will happen later.
So that scene right there with Matt, I
horrifying.
was like, no, not Matt.
Yeah.
Like even though I know what happens, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I know, it's visceral.
And then here's the real Matt. Like here's real Matt.
And then my heart breaks.
I love this scene
because it's just like he just wants to take care of the babies, and who can't love a man?
I think we really needed that in this episode because he's been not himself for like
so we needed to be reminded.
So this is showing us like who he was at the beginning. This is him.
Yes.
Oh.
This little girl does a great job.
She does. She does.
He's so like quiet with her. He got down on her level. Like he totally.
Yes.
Yeah,
he is totally acting like a person who interacts with children on a regular basis as a caretaker. Like he understands that you can't tower over them, that you need to get on their level.
Yep. And I like that they're already planting the scenes or the seeds for Jason called it out too.
Yes.
Yeah, some little hints about Brigitte.
Yes.
I hope we start seeing we see her in certain special furry friend dream sequences at some point.
Also,
that would be good.
I hope we get a scene of her and Matt drinking.
Oh my God, so hard.
All right, now we're getting ahead of ourselves though.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm just saying.
But yes, I hope so.
Their relationship is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So this scene though, like this is where I think we get like a good amount of like Rand and Tom starting here.
Yes, and we get Tom's motivation, right? Because
See, he really bonded with Matt in the last episode, and I'm not sure is he trying to bond with Rand, or is he showing his feelings, like his caring more about Matt right now?
I mean, right now, because he thinks Matt is the one who can channel.
Yeah.
He is definitely focused on Matt. But I mean, I think there's some bonding here in the sense that like they
obviously.
both care about Matt. He's trying
Yeah.
to like connect with him
Right.
on that level.
But
And we understand like how important it is to him to protect men who can channel, which as you know,
yes.
we'll find out later this season, that's actually Rand. So, you know,
Yeah.
if they come in contact with each other again, that start of a connection is there, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tom doesn't really know Rand and Matt's relationship.
No.
At this point, he doesn't know how close they actually are. He doesn't know if they kind of met up on the road. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he can tell they're both from the Two Rivers, but that does not mean that. But he also can look at Rand and go, "Are you from the Two Rivers?"
Well, that's right. Yeah, he would definitely be wondering about that red hair.
Right. So I'm sure he's kind of like, this is weird because maybe
we got to
they
remember.
together.
Yeah, we got to remember Tom he's a
learned man.
Oh yeah,
indeed.
Yeah, and he's very, very like he's probably one of the most skilled Game of Houses members ever. And then like you know his military mind is like super advanced as well.
Yes.
So he's definitely connecting all of the crazy dots.
He is.
And then he also knows the Caryathian cycle, the dragon prophecy.
Right. He knows it probably better than anybody in the series.
Rand is kind of picking up on some of that in this scene too, because it comes up in a minute, but he's like basically like, you know, a lot for a Glee man.
Yeah.
Like, is this your first job? Like, this is what you always done, or this is your retirement?
He's about to say it.
Yeah.
There it is. And then, you can see it in his face that he's about to say.
Tom's response is the best.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Nothing is more dangerous than a man who knows the past.
I would challenge that. I would add to that, knows and understands the past. Because a lot of people know the past, but they don't understand things that went wrong. In the past. Like they know what happened, but they don't understand the dynamics.
That is the key. Yeah. And you know, well, we'll get to it later. There's a part with Logain later that kind of ties into that. But
but I love around this campfire.
Oh yeah, this is an awesome scene.
It is, and I love that Nynaeve has let down her guard. She's like,
oh yeah,
she's with the warders. They're having a good time.
Not only has Nynaeve,
they all have.
Not only has Nynaeve let down her guard, but the other warders seem to like have welcomed her as like one of their own.
Yes, I wonder. Well, they just mentioned that she tracked him, and I think that was they were all kind of like,
like she knows how to, because like, they're all making fun of Lan, and then she just like, yeah.
And I also love how no eyebrows are being raised at Alana's two warders.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, oh, we're all hanging out, and this is just normal stuff. Like,
but I do like this conversation too, where she gets a little bit more insight because she doesn't really know.
Right. So you get a little bit of seriousness here too, like how important it is to warders, like what they do, what it means to them to be a warder.
Right. Because that is important. The person's motivation.
Yeah. And it's something that she can understand because she is a protector. Like that is her instinct to protect the people that she cares about. And so she's going to get that mindset.
Yes. And I mean, I know Aes Sedai are servants of all, but the warders serve them. So that makes them, to me, like even more important.
Yeah.
Because the servants need protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making fun of Lan again.
Yep.
I mean, he has a point though. Lan did have a point. Like, you're talking about me keeping up more rain. You got Alana.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, yeah, you're right. But like Nynaeve is picking up on all this innuendo right here.
But I do love how she is still like, even here, she's kind of like,
she thought about it for a second. She was like, wait a minute, maybe that's
but like
which
Do you think what Lan does there is like on purpose? Because I think he like plays right into that and kind of like
because he's like,
seem like, oh yeah, me and Maureen too. We're doing that too.
Like, let me go ahead and hit the bid since everybody's hidden the bid.
Yeah.
But I also think that was partially for non-book readers too, because we've seen them in the bath. Now we're seeing like I feel like there were non-book readers that were like, "This is it. We're going to see him. We're going to see him."
Oh
kissed.
Like, they're thinking there's a ship here. Yeah.
Right.
I think and he's probably already setting up the whole we can't be together because I'm married to death thing with Nynaeve.
Yeah.
He's realizing that they have feelings, so he's trying to like put a little
push her off. Yeah. That's what I think too, right? Like let her think that there's something between him and Maureen, so she backs off.
So she backs off. Yeah.
Which really, if he thought about it, should have realized that would just been more of a challenge because Nynaeve does not like Maureen.
Yeah.
Maureen.
Yeah.
Like that was the wrong one to pick.
Yeah.
Well, he is, a dude. So
he probably wouldn't have.
No, he'll just be like, oh, she'll back off when she thinks that I'm with Maureen.
Yeah.
No, see what I think some people don't realize that there's a very specific type of woman that once she's decided that you're the one. Like you are.
I mean, she's not decided yet, but she's looking.
Like right. She's like I've put him in my cart. I haven't checked out yet, but he's definitely in the cart.
I love it.
But I love this scene between Maureen and Lan too. Like the way they've shown their bond is I just love it.
They're leaning into each other. Like it's and I said it in the first episode too. I really think we got the scene with the bath and we saw like the little joke with each other, like the water's not hot enough. And then like this scene is we can't see their inner feelings like we did when we read it to know that they have this like that their actual relationship is at that level. Because like they would think it. They would like they would never visually show it on page.
True.
But they would think it. But they can't do that. So
and at this point we haven't even gotten that because we haven't had any POVs from them at this point in the story.
Yeah.
So we're getting more about them and their bonds than we would have had at this point reading the book.
Right.
But they're showing us that their bond is deeper than just like a guy like an Aes Sedai and her guard.
They're showing it and because like they around the campfire they're talking about how crucial that bond is, how it's more closer than anything. But then we're actually seeing it between Maureen and Lan. So it's
that was a great line.
They're reinforcing.
That was a great line. You always get emotional when I drink.
Yes, I love that.
Yes. Great.
So here with
another little tidbit about the bond too. Like
yes, true.
Like but what one they could feel each like we know Maureen.
He has a drink and it affects her.
Right, but like we know from what Nynaeve said when she healed Maureen that the warder can feel the pain through the bond. But like, is it just pain or is it everything?
Yeah,
and now we got the other way too.
Right, because I mean PMS has got to be horrible.
Oh my god.
Because I hope they don't find the song. I like the way the song the storyline of the song ended in the book.
Me too.
Like that made perfect sense. I liked what that symbolized.
So I love this scene. This is one of the best scenes.
It is. It really is. And I think it kind of really sums up what the Tinkers what their I can't think of words tonight, but what it means to be a tinker. You know what I mean?
The way of the leaf.
This is why. Yes.
This is why. A better explanation of the way of the leaf than I think we ever really get in the book. I mean, it's explained in the book. It's not like we don't know what it is, but in terms of like us really understanding why someone would choose this,
like
what it means, like making a case for it. This is very compelling.
Yeah, I love that she says specifically like I hope that it's a better world for when my children and grandchildren are reborn. Like that's when my daughter's soul is spun out again, whenever that may be. That
because they're The way of the leaf makes more sense if there's a selflessness to it, because many people in the book look at Tinkers as cowards. Like, I think we've talked about it before, is that they run away because they're scared. And that's not what it is. They are thinking farther into the future. They're not thinking just in that moment and about their own survival.
And I think that Robert Jordan tries to show in some scenes, that I won't get into it because it's getting ahead of where we are in the story. I think he does try to show that part about them being cowards is not true.
Right.
But we're going to see those messages, those beliefs from other characters are still in there. So you have to, it all comes down to the reader and like what they're going to bring to it and how they're going to see it. And
but we're going to see it in I think it's either the end of this episode or the beginning of next episode.
I think it's the beginning of next.
That the Tinkers actually aren't cowards.
No,
and like
and they don't run. They don't necessarily run. They will do what they can to protect to protect people. They just will not resort to violence.
Yeah. And Karen, I want to say yes, Maria Doyle Kennedy is amazing.
Yes, she is.
I think a lot of people question, like, because she's such an amazing actress. When we learned that she was cast as Isla, we were sort of like, oh, that's surprising, because in the book, this isn't as significant a role. But they made her into a significant role for this. And you need an amazing actress to do this scene. And so I get it.
And also, I don't know. Yes. I don't know that this scene would have been as powerful coming from a man. And I know that sounds terrible, but as a mother talking about finding her murdered child and like, I am going to keep to this way of life because I know she'll be spun out again. And I want the world to be better for her because I couldn't save her in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a like oh man, it's just such a really great way to encapsulate the idea of the cycle of rebirth and the wheel of time in
that too. Yeah.
That they really never use, I feel like.
Right.
In the book. I don't think anyone has ever said those words in the book.
They don't think about it as much, apparently. Like, someone's soul coming back. They don't seem to really think about that.
I want to say in the books, like Tom even says something about not talking about it. Like, souls are reborn, but you don't remember who you were before. So in theory,
we don't talk about
it's a whole nother person. Like, that's not you, where the Tinkers are like, whether she knows it or not, that she will still be my daughter. That will be my daughter's soul. And I want to make the world better for her.
Yeah, maybe that's another reason why people dislike Tinkers. Like, that'll be something that they use in the show because they talk about a thing that's taboo and they're not supposed to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. But this scene is, I know, like we were saying before about how the show has like taken like a different approach to Aram. Like, this is like a key scene right here. Like, the way he is with Egwene is so different than he was with her.
He was such a bro in the books, and
he was a
bro.
He
I hated him.
But I like the fact that he's talking about this thing that Tinkers do when they get a certain age, where they leave the wagons and go out into the world to see.
So it made me wonder though, like, because I mean, he's got to be older than 20, right? So did he go through that and like he came back?
I don't know. I don't know if he would have left knowing the story of how he lost his mother.
That's true.
I don't know that he would leave his grandmother.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
I mean, I don't know if he would be like, I'm not going to put her through that. Like, I know she still struggles with this. I know it still hurts her.
Yeah.
This is also a great scene with Matt and Rand. Like I'm here for you. Like, if you need something, it's great.
It is, because again, like the two of them, they were in a little bit of conflict in the last episode. So, to see that, like, Rand is showing him compassion. He's going to try and stand by him no matter what. Even after what Tom told him.
We're getting another dream.
Yeah. Perrin's got a hammer.
He's hammering people.
Yep.
And they're in the two rivers. I wonder if that's a little foreshadowing.
There's I don't want to say too much because again, we're trying not to do later book spoilers. There's a ton of foreshadowing, even in this little tiny little dream there.
Oh, and then this scene, guys. This scene. I was like, no.
This is what I mean. Like, they did so much with like just like a few scenes at the Grinwell farm. Like, this is a lot.
I think that was just a Rand dream.
I think it was too. I agree.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But this right here, oh my God. Like, this is when I was like,
Yeah.
Barney is going to go far. Like, this is amazing. This
Yeah.
acting right here. This.
Yeah.
Just
So I think this is Mashadar seeing the Murdril and being pissed
so.
at the Murdril. Like that's not Matt with the
Yeah,
Murdril. That's
I mean, Matt almost
Mashadar.
seems
No,
like he's in a bit of a trance. Of
Yes,
some sort.
that is all Dagger right there.
Yeah.
That was all Dagger.
That's two evils that don't like each other.
Right.
Everyone appreciate that Tom Marilyn is a badass.
Yes,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course he is.
And there's all his daggers. Pulling out fucking daggers.
It breaks him. I think right there at that point, Matt was like, "It's me. I did that. I did that because I can't remember, and it's me. I am the evil."
That's
Yeah.
awful.
Because what his worst fear is being like his parents, is being somebody who does not care.
Yeah.
Yes, Karen. Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Yes.
That was. I really loved that they did that and they stuck with it, and that's obviously something that we're going to be seeing more. I hope.
And these tent, if I had a tent like this, I'd go camping.
It was beautiful,
Ooh,
Sean.
yeah.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely. I think the way they visually did that was exactly the way I pictured it in my head. Like it was great.
All right, and then here comes. I feel like I had a lot of tears in this episode. Like there were a lot of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like it was
multiple
too many
episodes
emotions.
of tears.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, okay, I'm okay. There can't possibly be anything else to bring me to tears again.
Yeah.
And there is.
Yes, several times.
Yeah.
But you can tell Leandrin just hates. So she seems to hate men, but then we get a little something later. But like right here, she is like spitting venom when she is speaking about him.
She does not like this guy.
Well, it's because he can channel. Like I get it, but like it is.
I wonder, without giving any spoilers, I wonder if they're going to stick with the storyline of the Reds and Logain from the books.
Yeah. I mean,
that is
they're setting things up that they can definitely do that.
I think it may be. I mean, I guess it was just a contingent, but I think maybe we'll see a more definite divide amongst some of the Ajas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're seeing it even in this scene right here, like
blues and red. The way they refer to each other as blues and reds and greens.
Yeah, and like there's such a divide here between Karenni and Leandrin and how they view, the way that what their duties are. You know,
right? But I mean, like within one Aja, we will see like more definite divides.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't want to say I dislike about it, I think the book did better was building the Aes Sedai up to be like these figures of like, if for the reader of like, oh man, these Aes Sedai are crazy, man. They're all powerful and they know all this stuff and they're so good. And then all of a sudden they knock them off their pedestal.
Yeah.
Like,
so them starting as like figures of awe. Yeah. We're not getting.
I feel
it was like half of one episode and then right out from underneath them.
But I feel like I think they're going to do it a little bit backwards. I think the more we see in the tower and in Tar Valon, we'll see more of that. And as we see them interacting with people who are more familiar
until you know,
right,
the other stuff that happens,
right? Yeah. But like so far, we've only really seen them interact with the people who don't trust them and don't have to deal with them.
Yeah,
as opposed to them interacting with like royalty and leaders, you know what I mean?
And they're not really dealing with like just like sort of common people, like random citizens here at this point. Like they're insulated in their own little group here. Like Nynaeve is the only outsider, and you know, she doesn't have that, you know, awe for Aes Sedai that some people might.
Right.
That was interesting. Like I like the way they make the old tongue sound.
Yes.
That was really nice. She did a good job of that.
And this whole scene right here, I was like,
I love this.
So I'm gonna cry again. Okay.
Yeah. Like Lan telling her what her parents' last words to her mean.
And I'm gonna say that was the moment where
I'm
she
gonna
was
say
like,
she checked out.
Get it.
That was when she checked out.
Check out at that moment. Absolutely.
Like run the card. It's good. I am making this purchase.
Absolutely. That was it. You can actually see it in a second here.
And the fact that it's what the last king of Malkier said to. No, he said of Malkier said to his wife, didn't he?
No, he said Manetheren.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. Which I think is like, does that mean that she is Manetheren? Like,
yeah. I mean, because
they do. I mean, Moiraine does say that she's an outsider, right? But look at this. That's it. That's it.
Hitting check out.
That is she. That's it. That package is on the way to her house.
Yep.
Like it is on the Amazon truck.
I like that question, Taryn. I'm gonna star that one. We'll throw that in the mix for later.
And then she goes right back to the sass.
Yeah, she gives him
which
some
she's
sass,
like, she's like, okay.
Yeah. She's putting the charm on now because it was not only is he deep and romantic that he gave her this thing, but he's smart. He can translate the old tongue.
Yeah.
And he's not intimidated by her. I think that is another thing. Like he respects her, and it's not like fake respect. It's not like I'm gonna respect you because you're the wisdom, but I'm gonna talk about you behind your back because you're too young.
Mm-hmm.
No, right, absolutely, yeah. There's none of that for sure.
Right.
Yeah. No, Taryn, I feel the same way. I really like that little extra bit that we got there about with that, showing, a deeper tradition, like deeper traditions of, some of the cultures is interesting. And so it was one of my favorite things about The Wheel of Time in the first place was the way Robert Jordan showed so many different cultures. Here we go.
Yeah.
Alana's about to
be a badass.
Oh yeah. This is where we get to see some crazy
battle Aja. This is battle Aja.
One Aes Sedai. One.
Yes.
But no, it looked like she was linked actually.
Oh yeah, she's linked. But it's one of them channeling.
Right. She's linked though.
Yeah.
I just love that look she gives them. She's like, I got this.
Yeah, but
no army.
Right.
No army can get past 7 sisters. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like you're a little bit too cocky.
True.
Yeah.
But it's without unless they have a low gain.
Right.
Unless they have a low gain.
They do have a low gain who's about to just bust it out. So
yeah.
Look at that, man.
Yes.
The control is pretty cool there.
Yes.
Oh, so gangster. She's so awesome. I wonder how awesome Priyanka Bose felt in that scene. Like,
I feel like she feels awesome all the time because look at her.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that's true.
well, you should feel awesome all the time.
That's true. Oh, look at this. The fighting with the Aes Sedai, the way is just so cool. And then here we go, Warder back to back with his Aes Sedai.
And I like that. I like that a lot of it seems so choreographed. Like, yes, they practice this. Like, yes, they. Yep.
This is the move they practice.
Right. Like this is the
do form 3.
Yes. Because I think it helps show that yes, they are in tune with each other. Yes, this is.
And they're just doing very simple things. Blow up the person. Like,
right.
They're not being special
and
here.
the fact that Nynaeve is not backing down either. She's like,
we're
fighting.
Don't mess with her.
Yeah, for real. Like, she just busts out a knife and starts stabbing people. Like,
right. And then this.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
Just look at him. He's like, yep, I'm getting ready to wreck shop, y'all. I am.
Mm-hmm. Because we got to remember, he's very powerful.
He is. Yeah. He is. It's not like he was like.
And they've been emphasizing that all episode.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is why they're so afraid because no man who has claimed to be the dragon has actually been this powerful.
And that's why the Aes Sedai are like worn out and like not even all of them can even hold him.
Yeah. Right. And that's why Moiraine's about to have this conversation with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, I just love that she does this, right? Like she doesn't come in here with like, holding the power. She's like, no, we're going to talk.
Yeah. I'm going to distract you for long enough to get the other sisters here. That's what I'm gonna
do. But also we know Moiraine's doubting herself a little bit. She's like, did I get it wrong? Like he's really strong. Like
So I wonder if this is just going to be a thing of the taint. Like if you have the taint, you hear voices.
I mean,
Well,
I mean,
three.
I hope that they will, show variations because I think that's interesting. But
right.
but I just this ties into what Tom said about, a man who knows the past is dangerous, right? So
Right.
I mean, Logain thinks he does, and he's got some good insight here, like
Right.
the idea of like you're spun out again, you can learn from the past. But he is wrong at the same time. Like,
Right.
she's right here. Like he's not hearing exactly what he thinks he does. So it goes
Right.
to your point, Ebony, about like, you can think but
Right.
do you really?
You're not wrong, Lee. You're not wrong.
Yeah. But also, I want them to show the different ways
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
taint hits people.
Can
Because I
affect
found
people.
that very interesting.
Right. I
too.
agree. I hope they do. Yeah.
Because I think that's what made so many people feel like, well, no, I'm not crazy because I don't hear voices. Or I'm
Right.
not crazy because this is not what happened to me. So
And
I'm holding it off.
It's particularly scary when you're not sure if you're going mad because you don't know exactly what that madness is going to manifest as. So
Yeah.
there's not like one clear sign you can look for and you can go,
Right.
oh, well, if I don't have that, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they do a great job in, I think Rafe and the other writers and directors did a great job in making us doubt who the dragon might be.
Yeah.
Or non-book readers. Oh,
Yes. Oh no.
Especially in this scene when she said, the raging sun that is the dragon, and then what's about to
Yes.
happen.
Yeah. No, they did a very good job of red herrings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely there. I mean,
for a non-book
reader. Yes.
Yeah.
And compared to the
this.
book, which doesn't really
Right.
make it any sort of a mystery.
Right.
There's enough of doubts here.
Oh yeah, I mean the very first scene of the book is Rand. So like,
Yeah.
okay, obviously he's the main
And
character. Like it's
pretty
not
much all the viewpoints are his. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the guy that has 80% of the viewpoints in the book is the main character. Who would have thought?
Crazy
Who
that.
could it be?
But when they just showed Karini's border, like when he felt it,
Yeah.
like it,
Look at him.
Right here.
Right.
Yeah.
For a minute, it completely took him out of where he was.
But now he's in his rage.
And now he's like, oh no, you did not.
Yeah. well, that was a thing. That was a thing in the books too. It was like some warders will go into a rage when
Yes.
the eye dies.
Yes.
So like, I think they are trying to like hint at that a little bit here.
Yes.
And as we're about to see, his rage was almost extremely destructive.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like it almost
and
led
that's
to
the thing,
complete disaster.
which
yeah.
which I think they are using that to validate
To show that
what's
he
done.
wasn't. Yeah,
But
to show
the
that he
val-
wasn't in control, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
But that will validate what is going to be done in the future to a certain
Yeah,
order.
like it makes it a big deal. Like
Right.
when warders go through this,
Like
there are
they need
consequences.
They need a caretaker.
Yeah.
They also started like they were already building on the idea of channeling too much and burning
Right.
out.
Because
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. And they're showing that same kind of like
Right.
effects on her face.
The light under her skin almost.
Mhm.
Like she's starting to glow.
The one power trying to like bust out of her.
Here he goes. Yep.
And the fact that Logain is calm through all of this. Like we haven't heard him yell or rage or scream or anything. He's just very,
not
very
for the most part, no. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very calmly taking things as they go. Oh goodness. And again, I'm sitting here going, they can't do that. That's not right.
I know.
Watching, I'm like, that's not. All this is wrong. This is all incorrect.
Well,
that's fine if y'all.
That's what Nynaeve is saying too. She's like,
Right.
nope, not going to happen.
So just to point out to everybody, yes, the timer ran out because it has 55 minutes. There's only about a minute and 20 seconds of the episode left. So
Yeah. And this.
watch Logain's face.
Yeah.
And Moraine is like, shit.
She was like, maybe she is the dragon. Shit.
Yeah.
I think Moraine's like, I have no idea what I am doing. Like, I don't know who it is.
Yep.
Well, she's gonna be a yellow.
But I think Logain's, like, all his hopes just fell right then.
Yeah, I
He's like,
mean,
it's
look at it. Look
not,
at his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a raging sun. I'm not the
yeah.
dragon. They were
He's like,
lying to me.
right. Like, it's not me. Am I
I am
mad?
mad.
Like what is going to happen to me now? Like, what
And
is?
and then he goes
Yeah.
from that to this.
Yeah, it
You know,
goes
I
from bad
think-
to worse.
Honestly, I think he lets this happen.
I think he does too.
Like,
might
not
be
that
right.
he could fight this many Aes Sedai.
No,
But-
but I think
he's
like,
letting it happen. Yeah.
Well, right. Like, he's not even fighting against
He
it.
isn't
He's
really
like,
fighting. Yeah.
He's like, it's not me. I should not have this power then, because
Yeah.
I am
'Cause
not
he-
the correct
yeah,
one.
he
I'm
was
not
that
the one to do this.
Devastated. Yeah.
But he also did not know how it was going to affect him. I think
Yeah.
he was probably hoping it was going to kill him. Like, just let this be it.
Mm.
Oh, this is such. Look at his face.
Like,
Yeah.
this
His
is
scream,
amazing
too.
acting right here.
Here it comes.
Because here's the reality: nothing happened to that man.
Yeah.
But
But you just what you see is like the immediate like shock and like devastation that he's going through.
Yeah.
like,
Oh God.
look at that.
I gotta
Yeah.
go watch some more movies with Alvaro Morte in it.
Yeah.
And then this poor man, just everybody needs a hug.
Yeah.
Everybody in this cave needs a hug.
Yep.
And then Moraine is like, and the fact that her
I like
braid,
that question too, Sean. That's a good question.
yes, but the fact that her braid came undone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She looks real good with her hair down. So I'm not gonna lie.
But I think that, so for me, that kind of signified that not that she was at a crossroads, but that things were really about to change in her life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I sometimes read more into things than is there.
No,
But,
that's
like,
fair.
the fact that her channeling that powerfully, her braid came undone. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
you are from the Two Rivers, but you were going to have to go beyond that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I see it. Yep.
Yeah, it's Rapunzel over here agrees with me, which is apropos.
Yes, that is very appropriate.
Oh man, that was
That is
that was such a great episode. That was such a
Really, really good episode.
I think that is my favorite episode.
Yeah. I have very few. Like I don't think I have any complaints.
No, there was
About that
nothing in that
No.
episode where I was like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Like, everything they did that was different, I was like, oh, that was a good way to do that.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting because it's one of the most different episodes. Like there's
Yes.
very little in it that is the same.
None of that happened in the book. Like, none of it. The stuff
mean-
that happened in the book did not happen the way it happened
Right.
on screen.
Exactly. I mean, okay,
Like,
so
we-
Perrin and Egwene with the Tinkers is the closest to the book, but they
Right.
changed it significantly, right? The whole
Right.
dynamic between Aram and Egwene is different. That whole talk with Perrin and Isla is just like
Right.
that's
right.
created,
Like,
you know.
The characters that we have gotten are where they're supposed to be for the most part,
Yeah.
based on the books. Like, the characters that were together are together.
Just in a very just the method
Right.
and maybe their journey was a little different, but the destination was the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if
Like,
you think about it, like I always thought this when I was thinking about how to like adapt the Eye of the World, like the part that's Moraine and Lan and Nynaeve, like they don't do a whole lot, you know, like they're
No,
just like
they're just riding.
they're just traveling along after, and they're like kind of like there's some little bit of interpersonal conflict there, but it's
Right.
minimal. So the fact that they gave them a hugely important
Yes.
story in that period of time when they're separated is so much better. And then like
Yeah.
then we get to get the Logain stuff and the Aes Sedai stuff. It's so good.
Yeah. So, and in the books, when they are traveling, we're still getting Nynaeve's thoughts and Moraine's thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't think we get a lot of Lan's thoughts. So, like, we know what is going on. We know how they're feeling about each other and everything. But you can't do that on a show. I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
So-
No, and
so
nothing
they-
actually happens.
Right.
Like
Nothing.
literally nothing.
It is all just background information for us. It is all groundwork being laid.
Yeah.
And they
Even
did
that-
that.
Romance. Like we
Right.
don't see any romance.
Right.
It's only that one scene where Nynaeve is yelling at Lan at night, and everyone's supposed to be sleeping. But that's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Later. Yeah.
So
And it always felt so weird because it's like there's no feelings or words almost even being exchanged between the two of them, and all of a sudden Nynaeve's in love with him. So it's like they do a much better job at making it more believable.
It's a much natural progression. Like, everything they did absolutely makes sense. And yes, that was the right way to adapt it, to make it new to me. Because like I said, I knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Luke,
Yes, Luke.
Luke has the same feels. 100%. Like, and I've been saying this for like 2 years.
Yes.
I've been looking forward to being able to be surprised by the Wheel of Time again. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
like
So,
we've been reading this book for what, 20 years.
yes, absolutely. But
And
so
it ended when, like 2013?
something like that. Yeah. Avi was a baby. But so we as Wheel of Time fans always kind of, I feel like we talk about how we almost get tired of talking about the same thing. Like, there's no new books coming out. We can't theorize. Like, anything we can theorize about, we're not going to get an answer to, which is why I didn't understand why people would, like, we always want to know how other fans interpreted things and what other fans thought. That's essentially what this is. This is another really lucky fan getting to show everybody how he interpreted this.
Yep.
Right.
It feels so great being like, you know, people like us, like people who have read the book so much and has been like a part of the community for so long, even like sitting on panels at conventions for the Wheel of Time, and we get to sit by and like watch people like discovering the Wheel of Time again for the first time. It's so fun. Like, I love that's like
that is my favorite thing in the world. Like, I just want new readers to come and talk to me. Like, I can't talk to them because, like I said, I don't know what happens in what book, so I'll spoil something by mistake. But I just want them to tell me what they think.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Whenever I get people to read the series, I'm always like, I don't care what time it is, like, or what day. Like,
Yes,
when
if
you
have a
get to a part
question,
in the book, just shoot me.
please.
Send
text
it on
me.
over.
Text
Always
me,
talk
call
to
me.
me. Yeah.
Yes, like, now I might not
Don't
be able
Google
to answer
it.
it for you. No,
Just text me.
absolutely. Like, don't Google it because
Do
you'll
not
ruin your
Google
life.
anything.
Like, don't stay off the internet
Yeah.
until you have finished the book. Like, I know you want to follow people on Twitter, and I know that you want to, like, you want to be.
So
Yeah,
Rapunzel saying that reading Nynaeve is falling for Lan in every interaction, and I think you can. I think especially with hindsight, you know, you can go and you can look at it, you can see those little hints are there, and it's actually very cute and very subtle.
Right.
But it's too subtle. Like, you know, I want to see more of it. We don't get to see very much of it because there are so few Nynaeve POVs. And nobody else is even aware of it, right? So Rand might be there for part of it, but he's not aware until he hears that conversation.
That's because he doesn't know about talking to girls. It has to be Karen or Matt. But also, we also don't get a lot of feedback.
Oh, yay.
Lan.
Sorry. Look.
Oh, right.
Look, the fresh Wheel of Time person. He's so happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, right. And that's the thing.
Welcome.
Whether you've read it before or whether you'd seen the show, it would be similar, right? You know that they're going to fall in love. So when you can see it. It is written in there. Robert Jordan is good at writing in the subtext, but it's very subtle. So there are definitely a lot of readers who had not seen the show reading it for the first time who get to the scene towards the end of The Eye of the World where they like speak openly about their feelings. And they're like, what?
Well, yeah. And also there's so much in The Eye of the World, right? Like, you're learning so much about the world. Like, the first book, I think, in any series, people are saying words you don't know. People are mentioning things you don't know. Like, you're trying to get, Rapunzel, what do you do for work, man?
Love it. That's awesome.
They're an astronaut, obviously.
Well, that makes sense. If you're up on the space station, then you got time. But
maybe. What do we know?
But I feel like I completely lost my train of thought, guys.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
you're just saying a lot's coming at us in the Eye of the World.
Oh, a lot is coming at us in the Eye of the World.
Yes. Right. So the subtle things that, like the foreshadowing and the really subtle things that we didn't catch on our first read, that going back we read and we were like, oh, I mean, there's the one line in Eye of the World where Matt goes, I like wars. And then after you've read the whole thing, you're like, but do you?
He's like, I don't like wars anymore. I don't like wars anymore.
No, but see, I get why Rapunzel read the whole thing twice in a year, because once you've read the whole thing, you want to read it again so you can catch all the little details.
Yes.
That was my wife, when she actually read the series in college, way before we met. And she asked her friends that had introduced her to the series, like, what do you read when you're like, what should I read when I'm done with this series? and he was just
series.
like, just started
You're never
over
done.
Read it again.
You're never done.
Yeah.
Well, the books weren't all done when she started reading it, right?
Yeah. Oh no. They weren't.
Right. So
Yeah,
so I know for me, I would read up to whatever book was out, and then I would start again because there was going to be another book coming out,
Yeah.
and I had forgotten half the stuff that had happened. So I just reread, like Eye of the World. I have read so many more times than Memory of Light.
Yeah, same. I think
Right.
that's generally true. Yeah.
I feel you.
Oh, Rapunzel. When I read Memory of Light, my now 10-year-old Avienda was a baby, and I specifically remember telling my husband, "You're gonna have to take care of these kids because I am emotionally distraught right now.
I am not available."
Right, like I was throwing books and crying and cussing, and he's just kind of looking at me, and I'm like, this has been a long time coming, sir. I don't know what to tell you, except I'm gonna.
I put a Memory of Light. I put a Memory of Light on punishment twice. Like, it was 2 times. It went on top of the fridge. I was like,
no, nope. We're not going to say why.
No. I just put it up on the fridge and I walked away. And I'm like, all right.
So for anybody who has,
I bet I can guess what some of those are, but I'm like,
yes, that will have to be a whole nother special we do. Like, what scenes from the Memory of Light made you put the book down and be like, I need to talk to Mr. Jordan.
Need a break.
Excuse me.
Brandon,
excuse me,
Robert. That was not what was supposed to happen. I don't.
Yeah. Like, and who decided that? Me, right now. So
right, yes, exactly. I have not consulted anybody, but I've been with these children since the beginning, and this is not.
I'm not prepared.
No.
Not prepared.
No, there absolutely needed to be support groups or something afterwards. I don't.
I just want to give one more quick shout out. Please make sure to get your questions in while we're still live.
I was going to say we got a couple more minutes here, guys. If you want,
let's get some good episodes.
Questions.
Episode specific questions, like what was that X made out of during the scene? Did you film at night when you were here? Something like that. Episode specific questions, please. Nothing about spoilers for is so and so coming back ever again.
Did we ask?
Don't ask if Tom Maryland's coming back because he's not going to get an answer to that.
No. But did we ask the question about if the Aes Sedai were allowed to put their own little spin on how the moves they did when they channeled?
We answered that. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
He said yes. Basically, like each actress was sort of coming up with their own. So yes.
My question for that is basically, are they going to be consistent in the weaves that they cast? Like if Maureen casts a fireball in the in a later season and she does a certain hand motion, is that the fireball hand motion? And every time she does it, she's going to do it again?
It was an overhand throw. I remember because it looked like she was throwing the soccer ball back into play.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I mean, that seemed like that would be the point, right? Like,
and it would be a cool thing.
Method for fireballs, then she should do her method. Yeah,
but it would also be a cool thing for cosplayers to like pick up on and stuff like that. Like there was another good show that I enjoyed was The Magicians, the earlier seasons at least, and they actually had a finger tutting expert. So finger tutting is like raving with your hands, and that's how they do magic in that show. They do like hand motions and stuff. And they had a guy who's like a professional finger tutter, it's called. And he taught them all how to do stuff like for the episodes. But when they all started to develop their own little nuances, and like it's like, okay, when we do fire spells, where we always do these 2 motions and these other motions look like this. And when we do spells that have to do with trying to affect people's minds, we do things like this. So and it gave people something to pick up on when you saw people doing spells where you didn't know what spell they were casting. So it's just another like little layer of depth that I kind of hope they play with in the show. Amy is just gotten to book 12, so that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, have a friend on speed dial.
It's true.
Like if
just DM us. Just DM us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm so serious. Find somebody that you can, because you're gonna go, why? And then you're gonna need somebody to just be like, this, it's okay.
It's a true story. Yeah. Oh man. So next week, who's our guest for next week, Rebecca?
I'm gonna go remind myself because
The great. I
I
asked you because
forget,
I didn't remember.
but I
either.
have it here somewhere.
This is why we write things down.
We did
I
write
know.
it
Well,
down.
I'm going to
No,
get my
I'm
little
saying that's
cheat sheet.
why
Okay.
we don't.
It is Delusions of Grendel.
Ooh,
Yay!
yay.
For those who didn't watch the Twitter of Time Awards this weekend, so the Twitter of Time is just like a group of all pretty much like all the Wheel of Time fans on Twitter, which is taking a little sidetrack right now because of the evilness that is of Twitter. But they're a tight knit group and there are a lot of awesome people in it. And the Twitter of Time Awards were a fun little gag that this is the second annual one. It's kind of like the Academy Awards, but for Wheel of Time fans. And they gave out best Aiel and best Dark Friend, because a lot of the people on the Twitter of Time go under their pseudonyms of Delusions of Grendel is one. So she was up there for best, of the Shadow.
Oh, very nice.
And she was also a presenter, so we had a ton of
Very
fun this weekend with her, and I'm looking forward to seeing her again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun next week. You don't want to miss Grendel.
All right. Rapunzel has a question in the chat, which I think is a good one, because according to the books, dogs don't like Aes Sedai.
Mm-hmm.
Cats do.
Yeah. This is a good question, and that is worth considering for sure. I like it. I mean, you could get a waffle on that, but I like the question.
Right, because we don't know if that's like a little detail that they're actually going to carry over from the books. Because I feel like that would totally just be a little thing for book readers to be like, see, we read it.
Right.
I mean, Lesbian Nerdy is also awesome.
The show is already now shown us later on, I guess it doesn't tell us how far back Moiraine and Swan's relationship goes in the show. But yeah, it does kind of seem like it could be a little code, and Alana's saying, "Yeah, I can keep your secrets."
Yeah. Right. Trying to make her lower her guard around her.
Mm-hmm. But also Moiraine knew that. She's like, it's because Moiraine was basically like, "Is this you trying to get me comfortable?"
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Which to me just really spoke to the fact that they really were friends. Like they were friends, as if not novices, that at least accepted. Like they bonded. Yeah. Going through the tower.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I'm sure a lot of you have probably already picked it up because it was available early at a lot of Barnes and Noble stores. But Origins of the Wheel of Time by Michael Livingston recently was released, or it's supposed to be released tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the release date.
Mine will get here tomorrow, and I'm like, what do you mean, Amazon? All the money I give you, and you can't hook me up. But
Barnes and Noble,
apparently Barnes and Noble did put them out on shelves ahead of time, which is nuts. But so some people have it. I don't have mine because I ordered on audiobook, so that comes when it comes.
See, I had to order a physical book because while I appreciate audiobooks, I need a physical book.
I can never find the time to sit down with a book anymore. The only way I read is audiobooks. So it's my only
I have the series on my Kindle, on my phone, so I can reference it anytime. I have all the audiobooks, and then I have the actual physical hardbacks because it has to be hardbacks because I'm weird.
I get it.
Well, they all have to be the same height. Like I'm a little upset they're not the same width. I'm like, why would you do that to me? But
just throw in some extra pages in some of those books.
Yes. There's the image, and there's the lovely Michael Livingston. Though this isn't a more recent picture of him, he has an amazing just a mustache now. He's fantastic.
And also, Tom did a great interview.
Yes,
that is
did.
on
Everybody should
Dragon
go
Mouth
watch
YouTube. Go watch it after this.
Yes. It's a hefty interview, guys. This isn't just some little quick Q&A.
Saying that, save it for tomorrow because it might be late where some people
might be late.
You
got to go watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just I blame him completely. He's just so much fun to talk to. He's such a cool dude.
Also, Tom, you do like to chat it up. I love it about you, but you do. I feel like getting the both of you together. It was a recipe for a long conversation.
It was bad. Kathy was just like I remember Kathy sitting behind the camera damn, this is so funny.
I can just imagine Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy and Kitty. Kitty was like, I want to go do some stuff. I'm
surprised Kitty didn't leave. She's just like, I'm out. I'll be back when y'all are done.
I think Alina was hanging out with us too.
So that would be the reason that Kitty stayed, because
that's
that's
true. Like she was distracted.
Right.
Also, though, Michael Livingston is going to be joining me for this month's live that I'll be doing on Saturday. So that's going to be Saturday, November 26th this month, because Michael is. We had to reschedule from the 19th because he is going to be on a plane flying to somewhere extravagant, being his medieval historical professor Livingston self, where he goes all over the world and like researches ancient battlefields and stuff like that.
He absolutely has the perfect last name to be doing that.
I know, right?
Right. That's the last name you need to be doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. I
don't know if he has a PhD, but I'm calling him Dr.
He
Livingston.
does. Oh no,
Dr. Livingston.
He is Dr. Livingston. He's 100. Oh man, I can't. We say it in the interview like that I did with him, but he has like his title is ridiculous. Like if you do all his titles, he's like Lieutenant Colonel, Doctor something Michael Livingston. It's like ridiculous.
So we need to give him a safari hat, like Dane's dad wore in Tarzan, but the Disney cartoon version.
I was thinking Indiana Jones, but okay.
No. He
oh my God, he's gonna love you for saying that now. You know that. All right. Thank you, everybody, and another shout out to Black Tower Podcast. You know, we're sad that we didn't get to see Daniel's face tonight, but we'll see you guys soon. And you know, we've done a ton of stuff with Black Tower.
Yeah. Go check out Black Tower Podcast anyway.
Yes.
Make sure to go check them out. Follow their podcast. They're a fun group.
So much fun.
Yes,
they really
just did
they really are.
They just did their anniversary meetup over in California called the Gathering Madness.
They did. I did a panel on that because I jokingly said I want to help because I help with everything, and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "I guess so now." So
you're in.
But it was fun.
They had another really interesting guest there. They had reached Daniel lives in the area, and I think they had reached out to like local actors to see if anyone was like interested in the Wheel of Time, like not come as an actor and be on our show, but like you know, hello there, Beth. But like you know, if you like the Wheel of Time, come and be on this thing with us. And they actually found a porn actress who was really into the Wheel of Time, and she came and hung out with them, and was on a bunch of panels and discussions about Wheel of Time, and it was a ton of fun to watch.
Is this the same one who posts on Twitter about? Because like otherwise, maybe I'm starting to think there's like a thing with like adult film stars in the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is it Elizabeth River or something like that? I think
London Rivers is
London River.
That's
from
Twitter.
Yes, that's her.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, she's awesome. She seems like it's a very cool person.
Yeah, like I want to have her like on panels and stuff. Like she has it's good discussion.
Yeah.
I think the more diverse background, or the more diverse people you can get to be on panels that read the Wheel of Time help speak to how diverse the Wheel of Time is as a story.
Oh
that
man,
all of us can relate to it.
Oh yeah, so much. Like we had so far, like just off the top of my head, like we had professors of psychiatry. We had a person with a doctorate in genetics at Jordan Con sitting on panels. Obviously Maria, Harriet, Brandon, all them.
Right.
And, you know, hopefully one day soon, a adult film star, like sitting on a panel talking about Wheel of Time. Like that's lawyers, doctors, everything. Like there's something in Wheel of Time for everybody. It's great.
Yes. I feel like everybody can find a character or a group that they identify with somewhat.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Make sure again to join us next week, Monday, 9 p.m. We'll be doing episode 5, and Visions of Grendel will be joining us.
Yay!
Check out, we'll have a poll up on Twitter tomorrow for our top 4 questions that you guys have sent in. So look for that and vote, and we'll see you next time.
It's all right. We missed you, Beth. We'll see you next time.
Yes, yeah. Beth, I'm going to start texting you when we start.
It's true. Now that you're here, though, it feels complete.
It does.
We love all of you. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.